Recording. Assalamu alaikum. This evening's workshop is to provide additional information and orientation for our members regarding the FEMA grant opportunity. This opportunity currently is open for some processing here through the Illinois through the Federal Emergency Management Agency. The grant we just went through was funding that came strictly from the state of Illinois. This is federal money that is available for people to secure to secure funding for security enhancements. Now, I'm going to go over some of these points just because I'm assuming some of you already are familiar with it. But in essence, to qualify for the grant, you need to at least be registered to have a create account with the state of Illinois, because the role of the state of Illinois is to basically be the application processor. And once they process applications, they submit them to federal FEMA, and then FEMA is the one who actually makes the decisions on the award. And I can share this presentation with everybody here. There's an embedded link here to lead you to how to create an account on GATA. And then the second one is you need what's called a uniform entity identifier number. And this is the process here. These have embedded links that you can go to get that if you don't have that particular link. Now, just like before, there's 6 items that you have to have your vulnerability assessment, mission statement. There's a spreadsheet that has contact information, a W-2, and then a statement about your purpose. There's also a spreadsheet, they call it a application form, where you put all the information. It's very similar to what we had last year. It's similar to what we just did for the state of Illinois. Now, the key thing right here is highlighted in red. We have a little less than 10 days to actually finish it. To the extent that if you had started your application but didn't finish it for Illinois, a lot of most of that material you'll be able to use in completing this federal application. And basically, like I said, is the state of Illinois will serve as a review panel, submit them to the feds, and the feds will make the decision on your application. Now, I'm not going to go over this quickly, but these are the components of security, whether you're going to focus on your facility. And what they are looking at is how you are having a holistic security plan. So it's not just having information how you're going to fortify your place, but how are you collaborating, getting your members prepared, and how are you working with other organizations to share security information. That's why we encourage you to join the CLGC security group, because that's something you would list in your application in terms of your reach out to share and collaborate for the purposes of protection. I'm not going to go over these particular things. Let me go to this particular question. Some of you have been awarded money from the state of Illinois. Then they're asking, well, what else could I do? Can I apply for the federal? Yes, you can. But as the line here is, you can't get something you've already claimed, whether it's in whole or in part, under another federal application. In fact, this cannot, it goes over the whole life of your particular project. Now, those who've been awarded a project you have a 3-year window in which to get it done. So that means for those 3 years, you cannot, like I said, if you claim windows, as Samir, like I was telling you, if you have windows, you can't come back and ask for more windows. You should have, whatever you needed to address that situation should have been in that particular federal application. I mean, this is another thing. They will be reviewing your application for that there isn't this duplication. And then Brother Achman, you have raised your hand. Did you have a question related to this?
Assalamualaikum. Actually, we don't believe your slides are switching. I'm still seeing just the first slide.
Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. Let me try that again. Thank you.
No, Jazakallah khair.
Okay. Are we seeing them screens now? The slides?
Yeah, we got the first slide right now.
Okay, let me, I was putting it in the slide presentation. Let me, and I'll quickly catch us up to where we were a moment ago. Yeah. Okay. Now, did my slides change?
Yeah, alhamdulillah, it's working.
Okay, alhamdulillah. Well, once again, this is about qualifying. I'm going to make this presentation available to you. We have links embedded in them so they can take you to this, like how to create an account if you don't have one, how to go for your GATA. And then here's where you would go to get your UIE and SAM registration, those kinds of things if you're that. The other thing, like I said, it's the same 6-part. Here, they're listing them there. Here's where you would email it to, and here's the deadline. 1 application per email. And as once again, it's being all the state is doing is reviewing and ranking them, sending them to the federal government to make the decision which ones will be funded. Now, these are the components that we're going to talk about, but we've discussed this in the past. I want to go back to here's where we left off. Are we all on supplanting?
Yeah, we are.
Oh, okay, thank you. So basically, supplanting fundamentally, that's a term is being used for no double dipping. So if you got funded from Illinois now to do a video or camera system, you can't come in and do a camera system again with the federals. It has to be in a different category, and that bar extends for the life of the grant that you receive. So to the extent that your grant is 3 years, but now if you get it done sooner, I'd have to check on that if the bar ends once you've completed or satisfied the requirements. But while that grant is open, you cannot go back and request materials or items in that same category. Okay. All right. So here is the example that the state gave. So if you have windows or on an award, until that award is a period of performance expires, you can't apply for the same project or project category. Right. Oh, sorry. All right. The federal is just like the state. The state is just like the federal. It's $150 per site, and you can have up to 3 sites or a total up to $450,000. All right, and these are, like I say, these are the 6 components of the application. This is a spreadsheet. It's called nsgp.il. That's the application. I know a number of you about the vulnerability assessments. Chuck Duchesne has been doing them. Some of you already got them. As long as that assessment is done within the last 3 years, you can still use it for this application. A mission statement is very straightforward. The attachment A is merely a spreadsheet with contact information so they can follow up with you, a W-9, and then just a statement about you being a tax exempt organization. And like I said, this is the W-9 form. This is an example of proving that you're tax exempt. Is really nothing more than your affirmative verification that you're there. And you can also include a copy of your tax ID, your IRS nonprofit status declaration letter. Now, let me kind of go over these are, once again, this goes to another aspect that I would like to share when we start talking about the security group. We've had a discussion and commitments from people when we had this workshop at ICCD out in Des Plaines. And fundamentally, it is just to formalize who are going to be the security team for you. Sayed Kadri is committed to working with us to, once again, institute training and having an ongoing system where we are, as a group, could stay up to date on best practices. And then the other thing, which is very important, that these federal grants and even the state grant is looking at, is one of the questions in the application, where it focuses in on how are you collaborating with others to promote security and security awareness. Those are the highlights, inshallah, of this particular grant. As I said, it follows the similar the format that we had in the past. So what I would like to do now is just open up the floor to your questions and see where you see the gaps are for you in doing this, and how we can help you meet those challenges to still get an application in. Anybody with any questions, please? Yeah, Robert. I can't.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's a person who had their hand up before me. Just want to let you know that was SAUDGAZ.
Yeah, you can go ahead, Brother Robert.
Okay.
I can wait.
Last year we got this grant for our current location, our main location, but we have a new location for our food pantry, and I was wondering, could we apply for this grant for that? Even though
you can apply it. It's a separate location. Mm-hmm. So yes, you could apply it. The challenge, once again, is just whatever your justification you use to show that you're at a risk of a terrorist attack. Finally, you got Muslim in your name, so that helps, because it's that's what these grants are designed to do. So gotcha. you qualify in that regard for that second location.
Another question, we're not applying, this has nothing to do with CIOGC, we're just applying just like we did before.
Correct.
Okay, got you. And because this was we applied for this 2 years ago, so I don't think I have any of the links. Are you going to send the links to us?
We can share the links. Let me just ask this. I'm pretty sure I have many of your emails, but just if you could put your email in the chat, and then I'll use that to send out the slide presentation. But I'm going to also put the slide presentation on the security grant group and the security group as well.
Cool.
Saud.
Yes, sir. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. This is Saud Ghazanfar from Muslim Association of Bolingbrook. So we recently got an email from Tammy about being awarded for both of our facilities in Bolingbrook.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. And all thanks to CIGC and leadership for guiding us, and a lot of members who helped complete the form. We did almost on one day before the deadline. So
well, yeah, the state was giving a a kind eye to the Muslim organizations because of not much participation. You know, going forward, we're going to have to, you know, get on it earlier, sooner, and there. But alhamdulillah, that you got that funding. So, what's your
Yeah,
question?
So, this one, the presentation just you had just now with those things, and this is for the federal program, right? And what we
Yes.
got awarded was the local.
Right. That was the state of Illinois. State of Illinois created its own separate funding to allow people into you know, for this funding. This is the federal that's on the national. It's like $250 million, but that's across the nation. So I mean, we're competing against more organizations, but nonetheless, you know, we have good data to show that we're at risk.
Yeah, definitely. And this also because our masjid has a project called the Muslim Cemetery Project, and so for the federal, can we also apply a grant for that cemetery project that we are having?
Well, I mean, as my understanding, you can correct me, but the cemetery project, I mean, the cemetery is not fully developed, and you
Correct,
have to have you, huh?
It will be within let's say the first phase will be completed if it's completed by end of this year.
Yeah,
So
but
we
they want it to be, they're looking at more along facilities as opposed to
Okay.
a cemetery.
propose. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. And last and a final question is now the award, the letters that we have that we have been awarded. Now what is will we have another meeting or set up
Yes.
where we would
Thank-
go about what we are going to do with it, how we approach? Because I haven't done anything on that yet. I didn't
All right,
even
here,
reply on
let
that
me,
email.
you know, alhamdulillah, thank you for that question. That was someone I left out. Tammy is going to be holding a webinar on next steps.
Okay.
So what we can do, once they come, they had scheduled them, but I'm sure they canceled them because they got to deal with this federal grant. So once the dust settles from that, I'm assuming they're going to set that orientation up. And then inshallah, we will kind of definitely use that as a training base. So to bring us all collectively up to speed. Another thing that's being proposed by the board